We have a very exciting matchup here. Two completely different teams. We have a David and Goliath matchup, I would say. It's the usual suspects, last year's United Wiffle Ball national champions versus Can't Touch This, a very young teenage group from Texas. I think they're around 15, 16 years old. So it's a true Wiffle Ball David and Goliath matchup. Former champions, like filled with veterans versus a very, very new up-and-coming team that won the Texas Championship. So this is an exciting matchup. Danny Lanigan on the mound for usual suspects. And Can't Touch Us is batting first. You got Nolan up first, Mark, Matthew, and then Andrew.
So Can't Touch This are one of our Link Tournament winners here in 2021. What these Link tournaments were several tournaments throughout the U.S. that bigger tournaments where their champions got this bid to round two. Also, the top four teams from last year also got it, which is why the usual suspects are here. As you can tell, very young team Can't Touch This are. They're all Nolan here leading off is, I believe, 15. Mark, who's batting second, is 15. Mark's brother Matthew, I think, is a little bit older. And then they've got a fill-in Andrew Montero. Unfortunately, their fourth player could not make it. But they won this Texas tournament against three other teams that are in this field. Anarchy, they outlasted. 35 Whiskey Ducks, they outlasted. And Punishment. So they beat some good teams to get here. And, hitting obviously is probably going to be a little bit of an issue for them. They're still young, still developing, but they've got some pitching, and we'll see it.
Yeah, I was just saying, Paul, I think it's like a David and Goliath match up here. And lead off a walk here, actually, for Nolan.
Yeah, but I mean,
positive start for him.
Everyone starts.
Yeah, this is like, as a young kid, you want to have a good start, and you don't want to be intimidated. Maybe, hopefully, they don't know they're playing last year's champions.
Well, because the funny thing is too, and we'll see this once Mark comes out to the mound, is you look at these kids, and there's a couple other teams with similar age kids here that aren't at that level yet. These kids they're just young. I think that's something I can speak to. Like, I think basically the first 7 years, the entire time I played wiffle ball the first time, I was like the youngest guy out there most of the time. So I can relate being 13, 14, looking like I'm 13 or 14.
Ooh, nice swing there. I'm very impressed.
And people just assuming you're going to be a rollover, and you're not always. And this team is not. And
it's a 4-inning game, too, as we keep saying. Can't Touch Us could take a lead. It's a 4-inning game. They could get a lot of confidence. Nice pitch by Danny Lowe there.
But yeah, so it's it definitely is, however you want to say it, David and Goliath. We wouldn't say young versus old. We don't want to call Danny Lanigan or any of the suspects old, but experience versus non-experience. Danny's played in every national championship tournament dating back to 2004. This is Can't Touch This, hopefully first of many.
Yeah. The talent is there from what I hear. I'm wondering how their hitting is going to be, too,
Yeah, I think, like most young teams, their hitting is going to struggle a little bit. Mark's brother, Matthew, who's up next, I think is their best hitter. But look, they got good swings.
They do have good contact. Swings. One out here, man on first. Matthew coming up. Some big hits happening in both fields. I'm hearing screams in the background.
Yeah, it's crunch time, so there's a lot of teams hoping to stick around, and there's a lot of teams hoping to just go through to Sunday, not have to play more tonight. And
Danny featuring a lot of risers so far.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter at this stage of his career.
Yeah.
He's a heavy riser guy.
And he picks his spots locations wise.
Like we said, Danny's been around for all these national championships and stuff. He knows. He's seen, younger teams that you may not know that may be off your radar, pull upsets, make it tough on you. He's given his 100% here. This is, bear down, let's get this win, which is great to see too. You never, you never like to see teams take other teams lightly.
Yeah. Oh, there's a sidearm drop by Danny. Low pitch
Good
there.
take.
Yeah, they know what they're doing at the plate here. And if you're the usual suspects, you'll obviously want to go up to a good start, and you can't take anybody lightly. You got to treat this as like a huge game because you want to start off 1-0. Good at bat by Matthew going on here. A couple
Yeah.
good swings, good takes.
Real patient.
The good thing is when you're just young, I think you are a little bit more free swingers, and then you can connect on some of these pitches.
You know, and you don't have
2 outs here. You get them strike.
knowledge can be a two-way sword. You know, obviously it's a good thing, but it can also lead to overthinking, to to overanalyzing. You know, these kids don't. They don't really know. This is their first experience at this level, so it's they have no preconceived notions. They're just letting their instincts take over.
So Andrew must be the old guy in the team. He has a beard.
Yeah, so Andrew's a fill-in. Their normal fourth couldn't
Yeah.
make it. The rules are you have to have 3 guys from your roster. These 3 guys were still on their roster, so they've added Montero, who's a veteran, a Northeast veteran of Golden Stick. All right, so Danny gets out of the inning.
That's a smart play. That's a veteran play by Ryan there, fielding the ball, throwing the short way rather than trying to go back home. So a leadoff walk. Danny's able to get out of it. Heading to the bottom of the first, and the usual suspect lineup is Joe, Ryan, Scott, and Johnny Costa.
All right, so it'll actually be Matthew Austria on the mound for Can't Touch This. Mark is their top pitcher, so they're going to go with their second pitcher in this, his older brother, who, if you've been watching these warm-ups, has a nice looking hard slider, hard riser. I guess
Yeah,
is this
free
more
and
for
easy,
Ryzen?
I
Yep.
would say, too. And a little hesitation.
Yep. And I also think that's a smart move by Can't Touch This. They're not using their best pitcher in what's going to probably be their toughest matchup of the pool play round. Use your secondary pitcher. If you pull off the upset,
Yeah.
you're in
I love
great
it.
shape.
It's a veteran move for
It
a
is
young
from young
squad.
kids. It's a ballsy move from some young
I
kids.
mean, I like it. But it also puts pressure on you then if you lose this game for the next game. But
That's true.
I think it's, you hate to say it, but sometimes you have to admit to yourself, okay, we should probably save our ace for the next game. It's a tough
Yep.
decision to make.
You just want to give yourself the best chance to win, and that means something different for every team in every situation in every scenario. And I think their conclusion that the best thing for them is to go this route. I think it's a justifiable one, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
Oh, absolutely. From a neutral's perspective, it definitely is. It seems like a good move. So far, it's 3-0. He hasn't been completely wild though. He's been around the strike zone.
He's really just missed. I mean, Joe Evanish is a veteran. He's going to make him bring it over, and he has, as he should.
Professional leadoff hitter.
Yeah, I mean,
Leadoff walk here.
those are some takes that you wouldn't see a lot of players and teams in this tournament take. So that's not a bad start, even with the leadoff walk. He's got to feel good that his stuff is right there.
Yeah. Getting that first out is going to be key. Oh, and he slips in the mound too. It is a little wet out there.
Looks around and laughs.
Yeah. It is a game after all. You just don't want to get hurt, but it is funny when things happen out here. Hopefully he's okay. I think
I think he's just wiping off his hands. Yeah.
That pitch seemed like it did something different.
Yeah, it definitely did not do what he wanted it to do. It didn't look like. Sometimes after falling like that, you can kind of get out of sync. You got to get He's got a lot of movement on that. A lot
does.
of vertical and horizontal movement.
It's going to have to be consistency. Ryan Wood up here for Usual Suspects. Pop up here to second base. And he makes the play. Nice play. 1 out. One out, and Scott coming up here for Usual Suspects. 1 out, man on first. So it's very hard in sports to go back-to-back, too. So this is the beginning of what the Usual Suspects hope as back-to-back championships. A wild pitch here, so runner on second.
Yeah, this is the and not many teams can say they've had 2 opportunities to go for back-to-back national championships. Usual Suspects were national champions in 2010. They made the finals the following year, lost to Doom. Popped up.
So this is their second chance at going back to back.
Second chance of going back to back.
That's pretty crazy.
10 years apart, yeah. So that would obviously be an accomplishment that's never been done before, and would be a cool feather and a pretty
very good career from individuals on this team.
Yeah,
They have
and
team
the franchise
accolades
too.
and individual accolades. Oh, his first screwball there. That was a nice pitch. I mean, it didn't have the depth on it, but it had movement. He has the makings of a solid pitcher here. Maybe even more than solid as he goes on in his career. Nice location.
Yeah, that really was.
The key is going to be him putting people away in 2 strikes, I think. And now it's 2 strikes.
His brother throws it back over his head. Of course, the older brother, turns around and gives him a shit for it.
Here's a 2-strike pitch to Scott. Ground ball third base. I think that was a clean single.
Wall, yeah, that will score the run. So that's the first run for Usual Suspects.
A 1-0 lead, Usual Suspects. It seemed like he did keep it off the wall, though.
Yeah, he kept it off the wall. So just a runner on first.
Johnny up here. Hesitation swing there. He's fooled. Tried to take, and then he swung in the last second.
That's the other thing by doing this move. Even if they lose this game, they lose it 1-0, 2-0, something small like that. If they lost it with Mark on the mound, that may be a disappointment. You lose that with Matthew on the mound, it's a win. It's not just it's a full out win.
I think as long as they play well, that's confidence booster because they can tell themselves, hey, we just played the national champion to a nice screwball there to a good battle.
Did that catch the lower end of the zone or
just missed?
Okay.
Had a lot of movement on it. He's only throwing 2 of them, but he has good movement. Nice pitch. See, if he keeps changing it up there, the batter won't know whether it's going to be the slider or it's going to be the screwball.
It's 2 down now.
Gets Johnny swinging there. Joe coming up. Joe walked his first at bat and scored on a single by Scott. Jammed him there. Good location by Andrew pounding him inside. By Matthew pounding him inside. It's going to be interesting to see how Can't Touch Us fielding does as well, being young kids with the proper spots in the field, and there's another short screwball. Looks like his footing is slipping a little bit out there.
Yeah, it's definitely still slick. We avoided the worst of this last round of rain, but it's slick surfaces.
Nice pitch again. Good location. If it leaks over the zone a little bit more, it's going to be more hittable, but staying inside enough where Joe wasn't able to extend his arms. Oh, nice location. Joe's able to hold there. Good hold by Joe. Good, impressive location there by Matthew, but Joe being the veteran hitter, most other hitters would have struck out right there. Oh, Joe launches one to left field, a 2-run jack. That's what happens, Paul. He held up on what would have been strike 3, gets another chance at the at-bat, and launches a 2-run homer to give the Usual Suspects a 3-0 lead. That's what you call being solid veterans and champions there.
Yeah, that's all it is. And I think the important thing, I didn't want to talk about this until we got to this point, and we're not at this point yet. So I'm probably still a little premature, but it's important for Cam Touches not to deviate from their plan.
Yeah.
Keep Matthew out there. Let him get this experience. You know, you have to understand why you did this. Don't waste any innings on Mark's arm. Stick to your plan. If you have to bring in a reliever, bring in
somebody else.
Yeah.
I like the idea, especially now at this point. If it was 1-0, you had a bunch of hits, and you almost scored like 3 times, and you think you could get a run across, maybe you did that, but otherwise you don't deviate from the plan. And they shouldn't second guess themselves at all. I think this was the right strategy.
Oh, it was 100% the right strategy, and they're it's.
Ooh, I like that sidearm there. I mean, you missed the zone completely, but I like the idea of being creative.
Like we said, it's all about giving yourself the best chance to win, and clearly they think their best chance to win is give their best pitcher the highest odds, games for him to pitch.
Ground ball foul. How about the other two, Paul? Do you know if Andrew or Nolan can pitch at all?
So Andrew can pitch a little bit. He's more of a medium pitch pitcher, but he's got some tricks that he could, he would definitely be a guy if Matthew completely falls apart or runs out of gas that could come in and work that. Nolan, I do not know. I don't think he does.
Ground ball single by Ryan. Champ's getting the breaks here. The check swing hold up. A ground ball has stayed fair. Scott coming up now for usual suspects.
That's the thing. You could easily look at this score right now in this inning and be like, oh, well, they're just running over them. They really aren't. It's it's some ground ball. Joe had the big blows so far, but otherwise it's been singles with eyes.
And these are the champions.
Walks.
They know what they're doing out here. They're not going to expand the zone that often. They're going to hit their pitches. They're going to battle on 2 strikes. That's what the usual suspects do. Good screwball there.
Yeah.
His first one for a strike. That's the pitch you're going to need to throw a little bit more for a strike.
Yeah, if he can start getting that over, he's in good shape.
Because the usual suspects are expecting and waiting for the other pitch. Another one fouls it straight back. He was on that one.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Matthew's stuff against specifically how the usual suspects are reacting to it, he seems to maybe be like a little bit of velocity away from getting some of these pitches by him.
He has the makings of a very good pitcher in a year or two, maybe 2 or 3 years. Once he gets a little strength, grows up a little bit. Sidearm. I think he's taking note. You can tell by the way he pitches of other pitchers in the tournament or in the leagues he plays in. The style. Got the Yaks playing in this field over here. Launched it foul, looks like. Into the seats. Scott gave that a ride. Good arm by the young fan over here. Launched it lefty to the players. Matthew really trying to get out of this inning. He's a pitch away.
He's ahead, so he's got a little options.
Ground ball is gonna just sneaks through. There was some hesitation in the fielders there. So now you got first and third with Johnny coming up.
A little bit of a Bermuda Triangle situation there. You had all of them converging. All right, so this is a big batter here. Costa will expand the strike zone if he can get ahead, and then kind of keep stuff close.
Yeah, Johnny's a very aggressive hitter. Seems like he gets better at a bigger situation too. Just low. It's a lot of pitches too. You gotta be careful for a first inning for a youngster like this. Nice pitch there.
I think I don't know exactly Matthew's age, but I think he's a little older than he looks. I think he
high teens.
Yeah, I think maybe pretty close to 20.
He has good stuff. I mean, I don't know how much he'll develop, but at the very least, if he get a little bit more consistent, he has he could definitely give a team some positive innings. That's very important. Everybody thinks aces. Ground ball, was unable to field it cleanly, so it's getting bases loaded. Nope, I mean, first and second.
Yeah, first and second.
First and second, run score, so it's 4-0 now, usual suspects. Johnny with a hard hit. Single, I wouldn't say it was an error. It was a tough play. You know, could have been made, but it was a tough play. Joe coming up, he launched a 2-run homer his last at bat. Nice pitch there. I think the crazy situation here, Paul, if Matthew is pitching against most other teams, he might be a little bit more success, too.
Yep. You can tell, though, by the body language and how they're talking to each other that, again, that was their plan, and they know that. Because, that is sometimes you just try to match up with, like, you try to match a pitcher with opponent in terms of your perceived skill level. So, like you would say, okay, let's save Matthews for the easier teams. Let's do my best pitcher against their best team.
Yeah.
But, their strategy is which makes perfect sense, is to,
line drive.
think a little foul.
Just foul.
But yes, is to do the opposite to up their odds, and that can be tough when you're in Matthew's situation. I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where it's kind of been, okay, we're going to pitch you against a harder opponent because we can afford to, lose. But that can't be easy. But they seem to, understand it and be cool with it.
I can't recall that, but I just know every time I pitch, I want to win. So
yeah.
I love being the underdog when I pitch, though, especially when I was younger. In the beginning of my career. Pop up, this should end the inning, and it does. So the usual suspects put 4 on the board, and they take a 4-0 lead, heading to the top of the second inning. A long first inning there. So let's see if Can't Touch Us can put a little bit of the offense together to get back in this game. Leading off for them would be Nolan, Mark, Matthew. If anybody gets on, then Andrew.
That's a Christian name, Sam. Matthew, Mark.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say Luke and John.
Landing back on the mound for usual suspects. Leading off for Can't Touch Us, you have Nolan at the plate. Landing it back on the mound. Let's see if Can't Touch Us gets some base runners here. Fouls it very aggressively, sort of like his other teammates that were aggressive in their first inning. Nolan chases the first high pitch and fouls it straight back. I like the aggressiveness from there. I think as they get older, they'll learn, when they'll be aggressive, when to take some pitches, when to make the pitcher work. They're still learning at the plate as well on the mound. But you can tell they have some very quick hands at bat, and they're going to be able to hit some people. Hits the inner part of the zone there. A down-under riser from Lanigan. He's been featuring that most of the game. Tough to see, too. Danny's a little bit of a taller pitcher, and he throws it low from a low position, and he hides it well, too. Gets Nolan swinging there for a first out. 1 out, and Mark's coming to the plate. 2-0 here. Two and one. Low pitch and Marcos being very aggressive on that 2-0 count. Hoping it was going to be up in the zone a little bit to go after it. Foul ball. Ends up going back to fair territory. Very aware fielding by Ryan Wood. 2 outs. Foul ball and went straight back to the batter's box, and then nobody touched it and went straight back onto the field of play. Matthew back at the plate here. His first at bat is struck out. Sidearm drop from Danny. He hasn't thrown that many of them so far in this game. Changing up a little bit. Keep the hitters aware of more than just the riser coming at him. Another sidearm drop hits the top of the strike zone. Keeps him off balance. Two pitch hits him. Matthew's been pretty aggressive at the plate. Ground ball at third, right through Ryan. It might be a double. Ends up being a single. Just kept off the wall. So can't touch his first base hit. Matthew hits a hard ground ball past Ryan Wood for a single here. Man on first, 2 outs. Andrew coming to the plate. Andrew has grounded out his previous at bat. Low pitch from Danny there. Sidearm drop from Danny that just missed the strike zone. Aggressive swing there from Andrew on an inside pitch, trying to hit a 2-run homer there. Oh, way to foul it off. Was going to be an outside strike. Andrew sticks at the bat and fouls it off. Good defensive swing there. Got 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man on first. Inner pitch, riser broke up and in and catches Andrew swinging there. So at the end of the top of the second, it's 4-0 usual suspects heading to the bottom of the second here. Ryan's leading off, Scott followed by Johnny. Ryan leading off here for the usual suspects in the bottom of the second, and they're up 4-0. The sun's popping out on some portions of the field, as you see on the screen, too. It's only popped out a handful of times today. Line drive, single to the outfield, like a one-hop skip to the left fielder. Man on first. Scott coming to the plate. Let's see if Matthew can have a little bit more success this inning on the mound. Screwball down and away for a ball. Good take by Scott. So this is an important batter. You don't want to get the first few batters on base. First and second, Johnny coming up. No outs. So usual suspects are working to break this game wide open at this point. A double play would be huge. Something like that.
They would love to see that right now.
Yeah, I feel like that's something they need. You always see successful teams start innings well. They get their leadoff hitter on. You know, they have so far both innings. Matthew having a little bit of a struggle with the strike zone at the moment.
Yeah, he seems a little out of sync from the first inning.
Yeah, I mean, part of it, he could be down a little bit because it's 4-0, but, you know, you got to try to stay positive and stay focused.
That was a good pitch. Just get right back at him. This is what he needs to do. Let them, let them beat you.
The key is he hasn't been able to throw the screwball over for a strike as consistent as that as a slider, so they're probably sitting slider more than anything.
True.
He gets Johnny swinging there, fouled it straight back to the catcher. Got one out. Man on first and second. And Joe's coming to the plate. Joe has done very well so far today. A walk, a homer, and a fly out. Starts him off with a strike. Something happening in the other field. You got some players jumping around.
High rollers and risers. Looks like they walked it off on the risers. I mean, that's what's also interesting about these tournaments is how quickly you can go from like being favorite to underdog and nowhere in between. If we said before, hey, high rollers, new school risers, you would say, oh yeah, high school risers. I mean, high school risers, high risers, favorites. They should beat them, no big deal.
Ground ball third. Nice play. Let's see if they get turn two. We're just talking about this.
Yeah,
and they do.
Really
Huge
play.
play. Very good play all around.
That's a lot of momentum they can take with them now. Into the next inning.
Very good play to hold them to no runs. We're heading to the top of the third. Still 4-0. It was a ground ball to Mark. Mark was able to turn and throw it to second, and then threw a clean throw back to the backstop to turn two. Still 4-0. Nice fielding by Can't Touch This. Coming up for Can't Touch This, you have Nolan, Mark, Matthew, and Fanbay gets on. You have Andrew. Lanigan back on the mound. Top of 3, we got for the Can't Touch Us. Nolan's leading off. Mark, Matthew. If anybody gets on, they have Andrew. Sun's popping out again. Actually, right past Lanigan's pitching mound. They'll probably go away in another 30 seconds. It's been popping in and out the last hour. Hopefully the rain stays away now. Yeah, you can see it's right in the batter's eyes, too. Oh. Can't Touch Us, although they only have 1 hit, have been really aggressive in the batter's box. Sooner or later, they're going to put one in play, hit it hard. Another foul ball. Lanigan's doing a good job using his veteran knowledge of pounding him inside and jamming him a lot this game. Oh, somebody just launched a homer. That was crushed. Who's the orange and black team over there?
That's Black Dog Country Club.
Oh, Black Dog Country Club. Somebody on Black Dog Country Club just, hit a home run a good 50 feet beyond the fence.
That's one of the new guys they got this year.
Ground ball back to Lanigan. Oh, falls for a single.
Wow, it's an uncharacteristic Eric Lanigan. He usually plays his position pretty well.
Anthony's joining us right now as Paul Cook is doing some tech issues on the field. So, yeah, Lanigan's usually, veteran pitchers are usually very solid fielders, too.
Yeah, and that wasn't the hardest hit ball, but, on this field we have the extra grass and turf kind of put in, so maybe it took a weird bounce. It could have also hit the rug. It's kind of an in-between play there, so.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. That does start around that area, too. Oh, it rips. Right, they're aggressive in the plate.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Well, listen, like you said before, Lanigan throws a lot of strikes, so if I was just kids, I'd be looking just pretty much anything that's nearby, just take a good hack to it.
Yeah, why fall behind the count? You might as well go up there swinging. You're down 4-0 to have some fun. Sidearm drop. Didn't drop, but tried it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for some of these leagues, getting 3 strikes is almost like a bonus because they're still used to playing with 2. So it's almost like you get a free swing.
Yeah, the MAW players that come here are loving this 3 strikes now. I like it as an announcer.
Yeah, it's more traditional.
So, Mark's at the plate. And Mark's the one that we will see pitch later. He supposedly has a lot of talent, and looking forward to seeing him pitch. And he works a walk, so now the first 2 guys are on base. So if they're going to mount a charge, this is the inning to do it. First and second, no outs. Matthew coming up.
So it's 4.
Matthew up here. One big hit could put a little pressure on usual suspects. So you might see Lanigan dig deep here. Sidearm drop just outside.
He looks a little discombobulated out there, Lanigan right now. He looks a little frustrated. He's not throwing strikes. He knows that this is a team that he really shouldn't be having any issues with. But
yeah, I think he realizes too that he can't just throw. Is that a fair ball? No.
That hit his hand. It looks like.
I think he realizes he just can't throw the riser because even though they're not getting a lot of hits off of it, they're fouling it off. They're having good-looking swings.
The riser tends to be the easiest pitch to read.
Ooh, nice catch.
That was a nice play.
Nice catch in the other opposite field. Pitcher looked like ran over a slid, but there's all objects there, bags, chairs. He still caught it. Oh, nice sidearm drop, falls in. We got 1 out here. Gets him looking. Andrew coming up for first and second now. 1 out.
All right, so this is really the game here. So Montero is a guy who actually plays in the Long Island region. We're very familiar with him. He's very familiar with Lanigan as well. So this is a spot here for him to maybe help out these new guys.
Yeah, and you could tell his first 2 at bats, Anthony. He's pitched Andrew differently. So I didn't know that he plays in that league. So maybe that's why.
Definitely, he knows that this is the one guy he has to worry about because he's seen him a million times.
Yeah, he's had a couple good swings. He did ground out into a double play first inning, but it was hit pretty good. Got some in between there. Tried to check and couldn't hold.
Classic riser up and in. Very difficult to hold your swing on those kind of pitches.
Yeah. And Lanigan's pitches today, it seems intentional. He's throwing it inside a lot, jamming the batters.
And comes right back away with that one. That's pretty
Made me
nice.
look like a fool there. Pate's the outside corner. And we also have Tim Cook here. Tim, I don't remember Danny that much from 15, 16 years. Didn't he used to throw a lot of different pitches too, screwballs and drops?
Yeah, but it was still it was back
Riser
then,
heavy?
A little bit more velocity, obviously, but very much a riser guy, like most of those late '90s, early 2000 guys.
I have to often go to Tim and Paul for historical reference. I forget. So I just played the game.
And they're basically walking encyclopedias
Yeah.
in terms of wiffle ball knowledge.
I mean, I faced Danny. We probably faced him 20, 30 times in our career. He played for New York State of Mind in the past too. Just don't remember. Oh, there's a deep
that's
fly
all right.
ball. Is it gonna fall in? It was like, nope. Good, maybe 5 to 7 feet before the wall, but it gave it a ride. That close to making it 4-3.
So it looks like they tagged.
They did. It looks like they did call tag, so that's going to advance.
Both
the
runners move up?
Yep, to second and third. Scott, it didn't look like he tried. Maybe he didn't know they called tag. Scott also doesn't really have an arm anymore, so he probably doesn't want to throw the ball.
That's a deep throw to
So,
make.
yeah,
I almost feel
that's
like you
a
have to be a
tough one.
pitcher to kind of do that.
And it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was. If the rule was a bounce.
Yeah.
So you have 2 outs here. Now this is an important at bat. Clean single scores 2 runs. Can put a little pressure on the national champs. And there's Danny with a little bit more velocity in that drop too.
That's a pitcher you got to be sitting on. I mean,
Yeah.
that's right there.
Oh, hits the bat.
Ooh, that did hit the knob of the bat, right?
Unfortunate. 0-2. Now Danny. Don't know if they call that a strike. Up here, I think he said it's 1-on-1s.
Yeah.
So maybe it didn't hit that. Maybe his hand or his forearm first. Or the one thing about these can't touch this kids. If I was pitching, I would be. You really wouldn't know what to pitch because they swayed almost everything. So sooner or later, if you hang one in the zone, they're gonna hit it.
Absolutely. They're definitely taking that aggressive mentality. There's one right
There's
there.
it's gonna be a double. Looks like. Wow, nice cut there. Scores 2 runs. How exciting is it for these young kids to do that?
That's right. Well, great job going the other way there. And we got the one outfielder playing all the way in left field, so Scott could not get there. And just like that, now it's 4-2. I think that was a double. So that actually knows a runner on second. That's going to score 2 runs. And again, another clean single here will bring in a run. And all of a sudden,
Yeah, they're gonna bring in the infield tonight.
And like you just said, Anthony, clutch opposite field too. Went with 0-2 count, wasn't it?
it was. No, 1-1.
1-1 count, yeah. So the last 2 at bats, a deep fly ball to left field that just missed a home run and a double to right field that scored 2.
Just to confirm, bridge round, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mark at the plate here.
I don't.
Mark's had some vicious cuts today too.
That's what has been.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
So they're going with 3 infielders here. 2 on the left side, 1 on the right.
Again, if they get a hand on it here, it becomes a dirty single, and that run doesn't score.
Nice pitch, outer corner. I like this strategy. If you're only if it was a 3 or 4 run lead or a 1, I don't know. Maybe you change it, but if it's 2 runs, I think it's smart to keep it 2 runs. It's kind of nice to see all the different wiffle ball strategies.
Hey, yeah. And
Oh, that's is gonna make it out. Another home run by Black Dog. Is that Black Dog Country Club over there?
Yes, it is. That looked like it was Jay who hit that one, Lefty Jay.
Hey, Jay's okay.
I don't know, Jay's pretty solid.
Jay's only been one of the best hitters now for about 20 22
least.
years.
That
Oh,
ball's
line
ripped.
drive!
That's
It's gonna be a
get to the
double
wall.
too. Another run. Andrew hit Mark hit a bullet there. They're on fire, Anthony.
Wow, I tell you, all of a sudden here, it's 4-3. That ball did get to the wall, so again, a guy on second base, another single here will tie the game.
You don't see too many plays like that where a bullet off the infielder's hand and he still has enough power to get to the wall for a double.
I think on this field, because they have the dirt warning track
Uh-huh.
here, I think that allowed the ball to continue its speed and get there. Because Scott looked like he was pretty close. Maybe on a regular old grass field, it wouldn't have got there. But again, most of the fields do have the warning track in play.
It looks like Scott's grabbed his knee a little bit. Hopefully he's okay.
Well, he is basically a walking injury, so.
Has a
I
history of
don't think- I
injuries.
don't think Scott's been healthy for the last 10 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's also, he doesn't help himself by being a police officer, so he's doing a lot of running around, doing a lot of physical activity.
Oh yeah.
So I know he's gotten hurt a few times, so it's just tough to keep healthy. I guess Lanigan had that ball broke.
I don't know, but he is
so
changing balls.
changing
Yeah.
balls. It's the only reason you can change balls is if a ball is broke or deformed. So who knows? Maybe Scott stepped on it when he tried to block it. It got a little muddy.
Yeah,
So
that
we
could
took
happen.
a couple of warm-ups, and then we're ready to rock here.
4-3, and remember, folks, too. Andrew gave the ball a ride that just missed a home run. This inning could have, I mean, it could have been more than 3 runs.
They're definitely getting to Lanigan. He's gonna have to try to maybe stop, throwing so many conventional pitches. It looks like Scott might be hurt because I see Evanish is up, but now he's putting his sweatshirt back on. So I guess they're gonna keep Scott there and continue with this 3 infielder strategy.
I wonder, if he comes out, does he have to be? I wonder if he has to leave the game. What happens? What's the rule on that?
Fielding rules are you can have anybody in the field. Really, there's no unless they're a designated.
Yeah, Danny is not hitting.
Right. So that means the other 4 guys can basically go back to back.
Oh, nice cut. I mean, this team's fun to watch. I mean, the young kids like swinging off their butt here, vicious swings. They don't know any better.
That's right. We got nothing to lose.
Oh, good pitch by Danny.
It's right there.
And Matthews had a few good cuts today.
I wonder if they tie the game if they bring in that young kid you guys have been talking about.
Yeah, that's actually like he has a ball in his hand. I wonder if that's what they're thinking.
I mean, also 4-3. You want to keep it 4-3, right? You don't want to give the suspects a chance to extend the lead.
That might be a good strategy. You want to know why? Because even if you come in from 1 inning, it helps you have the momentum and you get your arm loose for the next game they're going to pitch. Nice pitch by Danny. Gets him looking there. So,
Retire the side.
Can't Touch This is back in this game, everybody. They were down 4-0 entering this inning in a bunch of doubles. I think they had 2 doubles, 2 singles, and now it's 4-3. We're heading to the bottom of the 3rd. And a frustrated Usual Suspects will be batting. Let's see, Ryan's leading off, Scott, Johnny, and then Joe. And it looks like they are bringing on Mark is relieving Matthew. It looks like out. He's warming up. So Mark is one of the pitching prodigies that people have been talking about. I haven't seen him pitch, but I think he's, 15, Tim, people are saying?
Yeah, 14 or 15.
14 or 15, which seems crazy to me. But he looks it, though. And he has good stuff, very good stuff, supposedly.
Good look at sharpness and that dropped off. I'm surprised none of his teammates are down by the zone warming him up, though.
Yeah.
I think that may be inexperience.
Inexperience. They're letting Ryan Wood catch the balls for him.
That was pretty nasty. This kid's 14 or 15?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're getting old,
Oh,
everybody.
my God. I don't even think I was that accurate when I was 14 or 15.
I mean, a lot of people aren't that accurate when they're 25.
Also true. Some people still aren't accurate.
So they're bringing their ace in now because they came back in the game. It's 4-3, and like we were just saying before, it's probably a good move too to get him, get his arm loose and get him ready for if he does pitch the very next game too.
Yeah, and sometimes that is a good strategy in a tournament whether a game is into balance or not. If you know your guy is going next game, maybe use this opportunity now to get some warm ups in, and then get through this game, and then you're ready to go for the next one.
Ryan Wood leading off here. Talking about a different experience here, Anthony. You got Ryan Wood versus Mark, who's like 14 or 15.
I mean, wow, and he gets him to swing a miss. I tell you what, the first time I faced Ryan Wood, I gave up a home run that still hasn't landed. So this kid's already better than me.
I remember facing Ryan Wood at Wiffle Up, and he was the king at Wiffle Up, and he batted lefty with the banana bat and still hit a base hit off of me. Ground ball to third base. Oh, nice scoop. Let's see if he can complete it here. Oh, just over the zone.
That's disappointing.
That was a nice scoop he made lefty, too.
That was a great play, right where the grass is meeting the other grass. So that was tough terrain. But, those are the kind of plays you can't be giving Usual Suspects easy outs like that.
No.
This kid's got good movement.
He does. I mean, I think when he, next 2 to 3 years, you could project him to be a very good pitcher if he stays healthy because he'll get a little stronger, a little bigger, a little bit more mature. I mean, he can't be more than like 120 pounds, it looks like.
That was a nice little two-seam screwball action there.
Yeah, good spot, too.
It seems like he's pretty accurate. And you know what? If you can be accurate in this game, you can be very effective. Where are these guys from, Tim?
Texas.
From Texas. Love that.
Yeah. Sidearm there. I like it. He has creativity in the mound as well.
This kid's definitely been watching some film.
So, Anthony, when you face pitchers that are this small, does it throw you off sometimes out when they can throw hard or they can throw differently?
I don't know if it's necessarily that they're throwing hard. I think it's just, the newness of it, that you want to go in there and this is like some young kid, like, we'll be fine. But you also don't know, so you have no book on him, so
Mhm.
you kind of gotta just treat him like everybody else.
Great point. Yeah, there's no after a few, not even a few at bats, a few games he's going to take to see him.
And I think what bodes well for the suspects here is that he's gonna come at you with conventional stuff. He's not gonna throw knuckle curves. I mean, maybe he does, but
That'll be
from what I've
s-
seen, he's throwing a lot of drops, some risers, that little Brooklyn two-seamer, and eventually, these good guys,
There's a
they're gonna
walk
hit
there.
him. His ball just naturally doesn't move as much as it could if he was, 19 or 20 years old.
Yeah. Johnny up here. So now the usual suspects want to put a couple runs across. You don't want to go into the bottom part of the inning or top of the fourth only up by a run. A very exciting game going on here. A
I agree.
couple smashing home runs, nice defensive plays.
Definitely a lot closer than I think people would have estimated.
Yeah.
Like you said before, those shadows are starting to creep a little closer to home plate.
Yeah,
Probably-
right in the batter's eyes too.
Yeah, but if I was a batter here, though, I think
they hit the
I would
strike
be
zone.
okay with this versus the other way because at the end of the day, the ball's coming into the light by your time you're seeing it.
Yeah.
I think when it's the other way and the light into the shade, then that's when you start losing the depth perception and makes the ball harder to see.
Yeah. I wasn't that good of a hitter to know the difference.
Now, we have this when we have our foliage on Long Island, and some of the fields that we make are like, there's a lot of trees in the area, so based on the way the sun is shining, your field could be basically in the shade, and it's sometimes tough to see the ball.
Yeah. Now the bases are loaded, so as much as we talked about, Mark being excited to see him, he has the first three guys are on base. He has good stuff, but he needs to eventually get some outs with Joe coming to the plate. And Joe launched a home run earlier in this game. He looked like he slowed that up pitch a little bit in the outer part of the zone. This is a huge at bat. I mean, for a young kid, it could actually backfire here if he ends up giving up like 4, 5, 6 runs and doesn't get an out. Nice pitch there, lower part of the zone.
That's a great location. Guys been pitching a long time, can't have that location.
Yeah. Not much you could do with that either. Even if Joe's a veteran hitter who could hit anybody, but that's a good spot. Oh, hesitation there. Gets him swinging
Love that.
there.
Love that.
First time you featured that. We got one out now.
It's a big out. Ground ball double play. They're out of the jam here.
Now he's facing Ryan. Ryan's led off the inning with a single that the third baseman made the play, just couldn't complete the throw. I wonder if Mark knows the history of some of the players he's pitching against.
Man, that was uncharacteristic.
I mean, these are some legends he's going. Ryan's a legend.
Oh, the Whiskey Ducks going yard against one of the Trippus brothers.
There's a lot of home runs in that game. 0-2 on Ryan now.
I tell you, if this kid can get out of this inning here, he's gonna have all the confidence in the world.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2. One out, bases loaded. Just missed being a wild pitch.
That could have been big.
There's been about 4 or 5 wild pitches in this field already since the games that we covered. Something big happened in one of these fields. Or people are getting.
Wow.
Good
That was
pitch.
a nasty drop.
He has the makings of a very good pitcher. 2 outs now, bases loaded. Scott coming to the plate. Yeah, I think you're right, Anthony. If he gets one more out here, it gives him a chance. I think at the top of the fourth too. He's in the zone. He found this groove. Oh, nice play. Let's see. Can you turn two? I don't know if that's even a double. I know it can't be a double play. You have to throw it to somebody, right?
I think if you field it in the triangle, though, you can just turn two.
I'm glad to have you. I always need somebody with the rules around me, whether it's you, Paul, Tim, because I don't have a.
I'm almost positive because that would be crazy. We have to toss to somebody right next to them.
Yeah, hand it off. Ooh, sidearm.
1-2.
I think it's 1 and 2. 2 outs, bases loaded. Let's see if he can escape a bases loaded jam here. Scott
Well,
at the plate.
Take a look at Lanigan pacing up and down the foul line here. Not thrilled.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow.
What a magical job here getting out. Bases loaded, no outs. 3 straight Ks against Joe, Ryan, and Scott. That's pretty big.
That's unbelievable grit from this young 15-year-old. And, we got ourselves a game here. It's 4-3. It's top 4. They've been hitting Lanigan last inning. I wonder, do they bring him in? Maybe they bring in Johnny Whiffs here. It looks like Johnny Whiffs is going to go to the
You
mound.
think, I mean, that's what I was thinking. It'd probably be good idea maybe to bring somebody new in or no?
And again, taking himself out, being the manager that he is, knows that he doesn't have it. Also, doesn't want to be the person that blows it against the 15-year-old kids.
What do you think? Do you think, let's say this game ends 4-3. If you're the usual suspects, are you a little frustrated at this game, or does it matter? You just got the W.
Sure, I think you're frustrated because you know this is a team you shouldn't have to struggle with. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and
Yeah.
you haven't played all day, so this is your first game. You know, you're probably going to struggle a little bit, so I'm sure they'll take the W.
And do you also take the attitude that champs find a way to win? You know, even when they're not at their best too.
So it's a long tournament.
Yeah.
They know that they just got to win a couple of games tonight, and they're right there for Sunday.
And Johnny features a lot of hard sliders, right?
Yeah.
Rubber arm usually. Plays an MAW a bunch too. I know he plays everywhere.
Yeah, and he's another creative guy. Like, he'll come at you with some different angles. He'll throw, some off-speed stuff. And he's also got that great flowing hair, so, I mean, it's tough to focus out there.
There's a few players with the great flowing. Devin now is sporting a longer
Devin.
hair.
I tell you, there's going to be, we're going to come out with the first ever United Wiffle all-attractive team.
A calendar.
And I think that Devin is definitely on that all-attractive team. Johnny Whiff's a candidate
Paul
as well.
Cook too. Don't discount Paul.
I agree. Paul Cook could be an honorable mention.
I think we could do a calendar. People will buy it.
People buy anything right now.
Wiffle ball merchandise is hot right
Where's all
now.
that booing coming from?
Yeah, there's bowling going on at one field.
I think it's going on. I think it's in that Way Too Beautiful Claws game. Probably because Gerard is on the Claws, and Gerard's honestly one of the more hated, loved, disrespected, verbally abused, and you name it.
Every adjective in the book.
Everything is against this guy. And Way Too Beautiful has a great fan base, so there's some guys in that game that have faced each other for a long time. I mean, G has been around a while again. Rob Sutton's been around a long time. You have the two new kids from Maine. Oh, that's a rip to the wall.
It's so exciting to have players from Maine. Like that's pretty cool. Basically in Maine, which I've been there a number of times. I love it. You have a few months to build to play wiffle ball before you can't feel your limbs.
That's a
'cause it's
very
so
good
cold. And it's windy over there too.
Two of those kids actually traveled down to our Golden Stick National Championship this summer, and they played very well.
Awesome.
They also a few times made it out to Vermont and Massachusetts to play in some regional events. And they have a lot of talent. They're young college kids. They play baseball. They obviously are hungry to play, and they like the challenge. And I know one of the guys, Lucas. He's got a good arm and plenty of potential. And
College ball
yeah,
pitchers or
they're pitchers. Lucas, I think, is a pitcher. I think the other kid, plays third base.
that's awesome.
I could be wrong though. Don't quote me on that.
We have a number of college pitchers here today. Lemonheads feature 2 college pitchers.
Yep. Well, you know what? When you still have that itch to play, and you know that maybe hardball isn't gonna, bring in the bank. You want to have a little more fun, so you play some whiffs.
Yeah, historically there's been a number of, whether it's D1, D2, D3 pitchers. We've had minor league players play before. Very successful former collegiate, amateur, professional players.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Revs to maybe come down with some alumni squad that wants to play some whiffs.
That'd be awesome. Andrew leading off here for Can't Touch Us, down 4-3. Johnny's in relief of Danny Lanigan. Danny's in the field now on first base side.
If you're Johnny Whiffs, you got one thing on your mind right now, and that's pounding the zone with strikes. Because you're the home team, you know that you're going to have the last lick. So anyway, you just got to get ahead, just like that, and just keep the pressure on
Can't touch this.
Can't touch this, sorry.
No, and Andrew's probably faced Johnny a number of times, you would think, right?
I don't know, actually, because Johnny, doesn't really pitch in yard. I mean,
okay.
he pitches in fast, but not too often, because he's usually on a team. He's basically, when he's on a team, he's on the team for hitting.
Yeah.
So if he has to pitch, either the team is light in the rotation for the day, or somebody gets hurt. I guess in this situation, obviously they want to save Joe for tonight or tomorrow. Obviously they want to save Ryan Wood as well for tonight or tomorrow. So, and Scott can't really throw, so Johnny's the only other alternative.
I would imagine if you're an unusual suspect player right now, you're slightly nervous because you got to have this game. You got to. You can't lose this game.
Ooh.
Nice pitch, and he slipped too. Hopefully he's all right. Gets him swinging, but Johnny's coming up a little slow here. We had a number of times it rained today, so your landing foot it could slide. You're walking around a little gingerly there.
It's true. The conditions are a little slick right now. Although Johnny, of course, not wearing proper attire, probably wearing some type of like boat shoes, not really wearing like spikes or turf shoes.
Nolan's up at the plate.
4-3.
Nolan has, let's see what he's done today. He has a single last inning. I think he's K'd the other at bat.
These are 4 or 5 games. These are 4 too.
Right.
4 to 3.
4 innings or 5?
About 4 innings,
Thanks.
yeah. This round 4 innings, 2 clean.
As a reminder to the audience out there, these are 4 inning games. As you know, I think we mentioned earlier, but if we didn't, later on it turns to 5. I'll let you know. But right now it's still 4. So this is the last at bat for Can't Touch This, and it looks like Nolan just worked a walk. I got to update this digital display. I remember about 50% of the time.
Huh.
Too many things. As a broadcaster, I should just be talking. I shouldn't be pressing buttons.
I agree. Where's the guy? Where's the runner?
Mark at the plate here. Mark last at bat. He's the one I think had a big hit. He had a big walk and a single early in the game. He's been very aggressive at the plate here. Take a look at this. Usual suspect going with 2 outfielders. They don't want to give that double.
Agreed. See, this is where that strategy comes into play. You'll give up the single. See, now my problem with this move is that you assume that if they're going to get around on Johnny, they'll be a little late. So you're just leaving that little bloop single to the right side. Thank you.
And then it'd be first
very
and third before you know it. Johnny, that ball just explodes up. I'm so used to seeing that pitch in MAW. It starts in and it just goes up. It's not a riser, but it does rise. 1 strike to Mark here at the plate. Oh, fly ball right field, and it's not good. Nice catch by Danny.
Wow, wheels. I don't know if they called.
I don't think they yelled sack, did they? If they did, the game's over, but I don't know if they yelled it. Let's see. They're talking about it. No, just a regular fly out. So that was good strategy, you know, because if there wasn't an outfielder out there, that probably wouldn't have been a double because that backspin, but it would have been a single. It would have been first and third.
That's true.
So we got 2 outs here. Matthew coming up. Matthew, last inning, he struck out. He doesn't have a hit today yet, so maybe he's due. Johnny's coming in relief, looking for the last out. So now they need a double, any kind of extra base hit.
Ooh,
Nasty.
That pitch had unbelievable movement.
Yeah. This is where the good camera view, you can see it break so much high left to low right.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, nothing you do with that one. You have to hope that pitch ends up in the middle of the zone, not down and in.
Exactly.
Or as I mentioned earlier, when I played with Tom Ocasio, he used to say, move up in the batter's box, get it before it breaks. But it's easier said than done when somebody's throwing hard, too. You have to have quick hands to do that. Which he did, obviously.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
He actually played in MAW 2 years ago at the age of like 52, 53 or whatever, and did very well. Oh, exploding ball up in the strike zone, down to their last strike.
Probably one of the hardest pitches to lay off is that riser that starts right down the middle and then just finishes above the zone.
What do you think? Do you stick with a high pitch here again, or do you go back to maybe the screw drop?
I think he's going to go with the screw drop blowing in.
Gets him outer corner. Good placement there. So usual suspects hold on. They jump out to a 4-0 lead. Hold on to win 4. Trying to figure out what's going on right now. This game should be over when they're out in the mound. Let me clarify something. We're just getting some rule clarification here. I was going to ask Tim.
All right, so we're just gonna clarify. We must have misscored a hit, so it's actually 4-4 this game, which is absolutely wild turn of events because this is the defending champs and they're facing these kids from Texas, and you know what? You love to see it. So there's the first out of the inning. Get him on the first pitch. It's a ground ball, one away. So confirmed it is 4-4. So I do think it was maybe on that one play in the corner. I thought we scored a double, but I guess not. So
My mistake. You know, we can't see the wall from our angle.
I feel like John Sterling when we're at Yankee Stadium or on the road or any game because he can't see
Don't make
anything.
fun of John or Susan.
You know, I can't see the warning track here, Susan. There must be a wall there. I can't tell. Here's the pitch.
So Johnny got out, right?
Yes, it was a ground ball out. Now Evanish is up. I believe it's 1-1 count. And, wow.
So that was definitely smart to bring in Mark to pitch then in relief. Bring it.
Wow, this
And
could
do
be
you-
at right center field. It is
It is a
out
home run.
here.
Just barely, but maybe a foot above it. So
Oh.
walk-off homer. So now the usual suspects did win. It's just a little later than we said. A 5-4 walk-off home run by Joe, opposite field.
Wow, that's classic Joe Evanish. He's able to hit the ball to all sides of the field. And the suspects, now that we know it was 4-4, unbelievable. They were tested very early. Definitely not happy. I can't wait to get down there and interview Lanigan. He's probably going to be pissed.
Definitely interview Joe too if you can, because he had
I would.
a left field home run earlier in the game, and now this one was opposite field. So two
I wanna
huge
go
home
inter-
runs.
I wanna go interview
Joe
those
had
kids.
3 RBIs. Yeah.
Definitely want to get rid of those kids.
A 5-4 victory by usual suspects, so their reigning champs do squeak out the win. And as Anthony and I said before, you know, champions find a way to win even when they're not at their best and when they're struggling or playing a team that they think they should win. So they held on to get the very important first game victory.
So that's crazy. So at one point, that they actually had the go-ahead run on base, and we thought it was a tying run. Wow.
And once again, my mistake to the audience out there. I thought it was 4-3, but it was
is-
4-4. What a game!
That was sick.
It was 4-0, and then Can't Touch Us scored 4 in a row and make it 4-4, and then a walk-off homer. And they had to have butterflies in their
And
stomach.
I tell you what, that's probably the one aspect about for the suspects that they're probably not happy about, that they got out to a 4-0 lead and actually blew it. And Lanigan will definitely talk to the troops. They're going to have about probably a half-hour break or so before their next game. But they need to get the act together. Otherwise, they're going to have a hard time trying to repeat as national champions.
Yep, I think you will see them play better. I think, like you mentioned early on, it's your first game. It takes a little bit to get into it, especially when you've been sitting and watching or wherever you were. And I think you'll see them play better. It's not like they played bad. They were hitting well, but I think they need to clean up their fielding a little bit and obviously the pitching a little bit too. So
Couldn't agree more.
great game, folks. I mean, we saw a bunch of mid-teenagers take on the champions and battle them to a 4-4 tie at one point, and they lost a nail biter 5-4. So we will see you